Alright, welcome back to World History. Last thing we talked about was monotheism and the Fertile Crescent, and now we're diving into the Iron Age and where it begins. So, the shift from the Bronze Age to the Iron Age. So the Bronze Age lasted from 2800 to 1200 BC, all the way to 1200, to where Iron Age begins in the 1200s, and that'll last to about 700 BC, okay? And so the Hittites were a group of people that lived in Asia Minor that over time learned the process of how to smelt iron. And this takes place from about 300 years between 1500 to 1200 BC, and by 1200 BC they perfected it. But those secrets get out, and other cultures learn how to make it as well. One of the reasons that made their empire strong was because of the fact they had such an abundance of iron in the area. Okay, so why make the change from bronze to iron? Well, iron is a much better metal. An iron sword is able to pierce through a bronze shield. Iron is a more common metal. It's cheap and easier for people to obtain. And so this helps pave the way into a new age of empires that we're going to be talking about next. So first, the Assyrian Empire. I wanted to cover with y'all. The Iron Age helps the Assyrians to conquer and rule one of the first large empires of the world. Okay, with iron swords and iron pointed spears will help make them well equipped warriors. Okay, the Assyrians were known for their military tactics. They had a very disciplined army. They were known for their, like the Egyptians, which we'll talk about in our next unit, were known for their other chariot warfare. Okay, and the Assyrians also built their empire on fear and a harsh government and showed that it is possible to build an empire that way. And this is the length of the empire, all the way into Egypt and across Babylonia. This is a big deal at this time. So, next empire is the Persian Empire. This is an empire that arose in Southwest Asia. They built on tolerance and wise government, unlike the Assyrians we learned about. In 550 BC, the Persian king Cyrus defeats several neighboring kingdoms to mark the beginning of the Persian Empire. And in 11 years, he conquered all the Fertile Crescent, most of the Asia Minor. All right. One of the things he did was when he marched into a city, they wouldn't loot or destroy any of the buildings or temples, but other than defeat the army. And then he believed that it was wise to leave local customs and religions alone. So he won the heart of many people. Okay. He liberated the Jews, which the previous empire we're not talking about them, but the Chaldean Babylonians had destroyed Jerusalem and enslaved them. Well, Cyrus let them go back home, let them rebuild the temple. As long as they paid their taxes, they were good to go. Okay. All right. Cyrus was killed in 530 BC, and then his son Cambyses ruled for about 8 years. He died of a bad wound from a sword, and his successor was Darius, probably an even more famous king than Cyrus. He used absolute power, but he used two very important things to do that. He created a road system across the Persian Empire called the Royal Road System. He also standardized coins. Alright, so the whole empire had a universal money system to trade with. Alright, so that's the Daric coin that you see there. And then over there is a carving of the man himself. Alright, this is the Royal Road, as you can see here. So it would take a caravan 3 months to travel the distance of that road. And this is one thing is that you should know about Persians. They are now Iranians. Okay, the Persians spoke a language called Farsi, and they had a weird sort of religion called Zoroastrianism that is still practiced today, um, but is not as big as others. Okay, well that's the end of our notes. This is a short set. Other lessons won't be this short. I can promise you that.